welcome to In Your Chest with the beautiful Tari right there. As you see, the Jamaican princess and me, regular old Andrew, man, that's here, that's trying to make it, that's here, that's trying to make it through the day. Please, people,
Hi
please don't forget to
guys.
subscribe. Don't forget to the YouTube channel. It's In Your Chest. That's INYACHEST. And please don't forget to comment and like and share. And we're back here on a Wednesday again. We I gotta tell you guys, we've been getting some great feedback from people that watch the show, and I gotta tell you, it makes us, me and Tari, feel really good that you guys are actually really watching and saying that we're really good combination together, good good vibes, good information, and it just really makes us feel really good about what we're trying to do there. So thank you guys for the comments, the kind words, and just keep watching, and we're gonna keep coming with new stuff and bring it out there. So let's go. All right.
All right, guys. So let's talk about it for real. So we know that connection is very important to all of us, right? We crave, as humans, we crave connection. We can't live without it, especially women. And men, they are emotionally connected, they just don't show it. But we know that connection is very important, it's real, and communication is very important. So somewhere between work, bills, the day to day operations of life, kids, and scrolling, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, social media, this emotional intimacy that couples have starts to fade. And so does the way we communicate. So today we're having a real conversation about how to bring the spark back in your relationships, not just in the bedroom, but in your heart, your mind, your soul, and these everyday moments that you and your significant other share. So it's time to stop surviving and start reconnecting for real. So feel free to share your stories with us in the chat. Tell us, what is it, communication, where communication is fading, and let's talk about it for real. So, Horace.
So like, what are some of the signs you can see that the emotional intimacy is fading? And most of the time, I think it has to do with self confidence, where it's like some of the things that you used to do with your mate, you don't do anymore because you're possibly feeling a way about yourself. One of them could be, just like you said, the stress. Another one could be weight gain. Another one could be just confidence at the workplace or in the relationship itself, where it's like you don't feel like the relationship is the same. So it's like you're kind of like not doing the things that you used to do. Um, but I think one of the main things is, for what I notice, especially with women, is usually like the weight gain. Um, and then if the weight gain feel the same way, then the guy is actually still coming after you, like he wants that intimacy. It's like sometimes I see the women kind of pull back because they're not feeling good about themselves. Am I wrong about that? About the body, that feeling
No,
comfortable in your
yes,
own body?
yes. Mm-hmm.
So so when a guy tends to see that, he doesn't know that it's actually is it the way she feels about her body, because sometimes a woman might not say that because it might she don't want to like bring it up to bring the eyes on that it is the weight, she's feeling uncomfortable about it. So it's like, what should a guy do? Then it's like, if a guy says that if she does come out and say that it's a weight or whatever, and then it's really a delicate issue with us. Like, how can we, like, hey, baby, you want to go walking, go jogging, or whatever. But then it comes off like now you really, in her mind, she feels you really turned off by me, which actually he's not. He wants that intimacy. So that is one signs that I do see. Another sign is it could be the weight gain of the guy, or him not just keeping up with himself in that way. That's not for everybody. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, some couples, it's not about, as far as the weight gain, that the emotional intimacy is the sign. It could be because, like you said, it could be because of the bills and you're thinking about other stuff rather than thinking about intimacy. It could be because of situation with the children. It could be a lot of different things. But one of the main things I've always seen is weight gain on both sides, either side. Um, so that's one thing. What's one sign that I've always noticed?
Yeah. Weight gain definitely is a factor for, both men and women. And you just, it really bothers you, to the core. So you definitely, feel, you have insecurities for sure, with that. Um, and then of course stress, the daily stresses, again, of taking care of kids, motherhood, work, the stresses from your boss, the demands, you know, from work. So when you come home, you're so tired that you're not in the mood to connect with your spouse because your mind is so cluttered.
And I don't like the I don't like when we do have this discussion that we use the default answer is that we're just not the same anymore. What does that really mean? We're not the same as far as the relationship is not the same. We're not the same as far as we're growing apart, not the same. And once again, just like we not really, we might not be really telling the real truth of the core, what's really bothering that person because
Mhm.
you don't want to hurt the other person's feelings or make them feel uncomfortable. So this conversation is really really delicate to have. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I just wish that we can really be honest about what it is that makes us now the emotional intimacy is just fading away. Sometimes also I feel too is because of time that we've been together, being comfortable in the relationship where you feel like you don't have to try as hard. It should just happen, or you take another person for granted, or a relationship for granted. So it's like the intimacy you take for granted also. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it can be a variety of things. But once again, we always talk about communicating. But I think the tough conversations is really hard to have, especially for us men. Because it's like we try not to like say delicate things because we always trying to protect, your feelings or your heart. And a lot of times I see guys be like, have the nerve to say like, "Oh man, you're not in the shape that you used to be." But at the same time, the guy looked like horrible. He just bad body, but he talking about you're not looking good like you used to. I'm like I've seen that before. I'm like, yo, you look pretty bad. You don't look good. So you got the nerve to be talking about her. You want this a baddie, but you look bad. So I don't know why some guys do that, man. It's the nerve, you
It's
know.
in their nature.
You think so? Is it a man nature to do that? That's the nerve. You have
It's
a whole pot
terrible.
belly.
But that's what y'all do. Yes.
Yeah, you have a whole pot belly, but you want your girl to look like a baddie. No, this is
That
backwards thing.
that
Backwards
dog
thinking.
dog back it. Dog
Yeah,
back it.
that's backwards thinking. Now, what some things I could some solutions I could think of to try to get the intimacy back. First of all, I think what you should do is actually have that real talk. Have that real talk where it's like, let's put it on the line. What is it that the intimacy is really not there anymore? Before you have a conversation like, babe, I think we got to really have a really talk. I don't want there's no judgment. I don't want it to go left or right. Let's just have a real conversation. It might be harsh on both ends or whatever, but let's really dig into it, especially if you really want the intimacy back. I know sometimes some people might think, okay, well, I can wear a sexy outfit or whatever, or wear his favorite this or favorite that. But sometimes it's just like it's the mind, not the eyes, that's causing the intimacy to just not see what she's trying to present or what he's trying to present. It's the mind. Like where's the mind that the intimacy is just lacking? So we
Mm-hmm.
gotta get dig to the root of the problem as far as where is your mind? Are you still attracted to me? And be honest. Be honest. Are you still attracted to me mentally? It's not about the physical because sometimes your man or your woman still look good, but you're just not intimate. To the outside, like man, he look good, or man, she look good. What's wrong with you? Why did you see that? So it's some we gotta dig into where is your mind at, and
Mm-hmm.
now it can make the person feel like, damn, is it someone else or whatever?
Yeah.
But truly, what is it? And we gotta have those real serious conversations to get it out because when you tell the truth about what's really going on, it makes things so much easier. But it's just really hard to.
Right.
It's just really hard to. So what I try to do for me, I try to just either if it's good or bad, I just really try to be honest about what's really wrong. You get what I'm saying? Because now you can make a conclusion. That's the first thing I'm doing as far as one of the solutions. Have a real in-depth conversation. And hopefully your partner is willing to have that conversation.
Yeah, I think that's also very important. Both sides have to want to communicate, um, and just respect each other, listen to each other, because many couples don't have that. They don't listen to each other, closely to see where the problems lie. And you definitely, if there's a blockage there, like again, because of insecurities, and maybe because of the different ways you communicate, because you have different communication styles, which are assertive versus passive and aggressive. So
Yeah,
if you are with an aggressive person, you're not going to want to communicate with an
yeah.
aggressor. I know
Me,
I'm not, because
me,
I already know how you're going to respond. So it's like I'm gonna, not want to share with you how I feel, because if I'm calm,
mhm.
you know, and level headed and rational, and you're an irrational person, we're not gonna have a great communication.
You know what? You know what's a great tactic is like when you really know your partner, right? And like for the example you just gave, where you said that you know that okay, he's passive aggressive or she's aggressive. When you really relate the message and say, hey, babe, I know I can be passive aggressive. So right now I'm on the level of understanding how you already see me, babe. I know I can be passive aggressive, but I really want to have a conversation where it's like I can just get this through, get this across to you, and I'm gonna try my best not to be passive aggressive so we can really have a conversation. So now you kind of put the guard down on your mate. You're like, okay, he
Mhm,
knows that he's kind of passive aggressive. Let's see where this conversation goes. Rather than
mhm,
to start having a conversation and your mate already thinking in his head like, oh God, here you go. He's gonna say something that's gonna, trigger me or whatever. So I
mhm,
think you approach it where it's like, or you say like, maybe I know I can be aggressive when I talk, but I'm gonna really not try to be aggressive, and I'm gonna let you speak. And so you kind of put your mate guards down to have that conversation by recognizing your issues on your end, so you can invite them to have the conversation. You get what I'm
mm.
saying? So
Yeah,
you
that's a
come
great
in,
solution.
yeah,
Yeah.
you come in with like a little white flag, like hey, I come in peace.
I
You know
come
what I
in.
mean? I come in peace. Let's have this conversation. I'm a shy.
Right.
I'm a
Yeah,
shy.
yeah, because it definitely is about your tone. You can't come, all heated,
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
you know, like, because when, you come home stressed, you don't want to hear that. I
Yeah.
know, my husband doesn't want to hear that. So,
You know,
sometimes I used to, come home, be heated, or, be aggressive. And I had to, he'd say to me, like, I don't want to talk about this right now. And I'd be
wait.
like, "What you mean? You want to talk about this right now? I want to talk about this right now. No, I want
Oh,
to talk
so
about this right now.
so you can be a little aggressive on Atari.
Not
That's that
anymore.
Jamaican.
Not anymore. That was the old me."
Or, oh, 2020, the 2020.
but I've calmed down now, because I got to the root of the problem. See?
Oh, hey, self awareness. Self awareness this is the theme of the night. I come in peace. Self awareness is very important because you know what's
Yeah.
so funny. I realized I used to be passive aggressive, and I didn't realize I was passive aggressive until one day I was just sitting on the couch and I was like commenting on something that somebody said. I'm like, yo, that dude's so passive aggressive. And I was like, oh,
I'm
damn,
like that.
I do that. I was like, oh no. So I had to like correct myself and fix
Yeah.
it because I do not like that. And I was like, well, I didn't realize I was doing it, but fixing yourself is a great thing.
Yeah.
Um, one of the things I was thinking about is that sometimes when your love language can possibly change within the relationship. Whereas, like, some people might like to be touched or held, or sing sweet nothings in their ear or whatever. But as your partner changed, are you paying attention to the change? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because once again, you get comfortable and you're not paying attention to your partner anymore because you're so comfortable. It's just like kind of like a rinse and repeat. You just You guys been together so long, so you think you know your partner, but do you really know? You know what I mean? So it's like, and then also, are you actually having conversations where your partner's being honest about where they are in their, in their growth and their journey, and can you follow that journey? Because you might still like things the old way. So it's a real in depth conversation that we really got to have as far as like, as the love language change, do you still feel the same way about me? These tough conversations gotta happen. You know what I mean? To actually see if we can build that intimacy back again.
Right. Okay, let's do a poll. In your relationship, who struggles more with expressing feelings?
Oh,
You, your partner, both of us, or neither one of us? We're solid.
are we doing men and women, or are we doing just doing?
Yes. In your relationship, men. Yeah, but
Oh,
you
oh,
or
oh,
your spouse.
oh, man. That's like 89%. That's like 89%. Dudes don't, dudes don't want to express themselves, man. But what's so funny though?
Now,
Like,
some men do. Some men do.
and you know what's so interesting? When some men do express themselves too much, a woman behind the scenes be like, man, he's such a act like a beat. Always crying and shit. About his feelings, So it's
Yes.
like,
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah. You can't be
like,
too feely. Yes.
exactly.
Then
So
we
it's
think
like,
you're not macho, you know?
exactly. So it's like you gotta just know when to just, mix it in a little bit and, put in a little bit emotional. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's because
But
it's so funny,
when
right?
on a vex though, when on a vex, you express yourself.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. Because it's coming out aggressively masculine.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But when
Yes.
you actually just express without some type of combative way, it comes
Yeah.
off soft. Like, you really hurt me.
Right.
I can't believe you. I can't believe you said that to me. That you think that I'm just worthless. And I really hurt my feelings. And it comes already. Well, see, you know what? When it comes to like growth as a man and
Yeah.
self confidence in a man and know where you are as a man, it's okay to have those spurts when you know that you're okay with being like that because you're not just an overly emotional person. But you know what? If you really care about that person and you express yourself like that, then you're okay with it. It's fine. It doesn't matter what she thinks. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
but you just express about everything, emotion about everything. That's something different. You know what I mean?
All
So what
right.
do,
When your partner hurts your feelings, do you say something right away? Hold it in to avoid drama. Drop hints and hope they notice, or stay quiet but grow distant.
mm, you asking me?
Uh-huh. And
If
the
you ask,
audience and our viewers.
well,
Drop your answer in the chat.
well, for me, I'm gonna address it immediately.
Me too.
Yeah, man. I think that's the Jamaican in that story. Yeah, wait, what did you just say?
Yeah.
Wait,
Come
what's the word,
again?
girl?
Come
Yeah,
again? Yes.
I'm gonna put on my I can't solve it. Wait, that's the word, girl. No, me, I thought. Okay, I could have
Right.
made it to
That's what I do to my kids. I know you were talking to me. I'm
exactly. I could have made. I thought. I could have made. Could have made.
Yeah, no, but I definitely think that you should nip it in the butt right away because I don't like to let things fester. Like,
Yeah.
there's a saying I've always learned, don't go to bed mad. And that saying, statement cannot be more true because I can't go to bed mad anyway. It's gonna be, that down in my soul is gonna be bothering me. I'm gonna be tossing and turning, you know.
Yeah.
Although some people say you should sleep on it, but I can't. I can't sleep on it. That's hard for me.
Now,
So
what do you do when your partner don't want to talk about it?
that's the thing. And that's hard. And then I have to, respect, you know.
That's tough, man, because it's
My
like
husband's
now.
wishes, yeah, because he may not just yet be. That was has always been tough for me. So, but I try to, what I do to, like, if it's really bothering me, I'll put it in a I write it in a text message. Like, I mean, explain my feelings more. That
Mhm.
way I get it out. I got to get it out either on paper. I'm writing a letter, or I'm sending a text or an email,
So you send a text to who?
to
To
get
him?
it out. Yeah, just to get my feelings. If we can't just talk about it right then and there,
I
because
like, I like that, Tari.
yeah, we
Because
can't talk about it right then and there. So but I still want to get it out because you don't want to hold it in to avoid drama.
yeah, yeah. What would I do? What would I suggest? Do that same text, but I'll do a scheduled text, and I send it in the morning. Because we're still a mother. We're still a mother. I'm gonna send a text. Chuck, let's tell us something on top of it. Let's speak to me. I gotta slap the phone though for the minute. Because like it's still like it's fresh. So I do like a scheduled text. Like send it at 7 a.m. You know?
Oh God. No, yeah, I didn't think about that, but no, it's true. Like for me, that works because I have to get it out.
I like
So
that though. I like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I just feel like you have to get it out, and then at least, and you won't have a tone. You'll have less of a tone, an angry tone, if
Yes.
yeah, you
I
write
like
it
that.
down.
I really like that idea, Tony. I really like that idea.
Well, yeah, and
Um,
I mean, I learned it even in school. Like, if you have a parent who sends like an irate parent who sends a nasty email to you, my ex principal, he would always say, "Wait 24 hours before responding."
man, I mean, it's a good
It's
advice,
true when
though,
you're
man.
calmed down.
Yeah, man. That's what I said. If you can do it and then send that text 24 hours later, shoot it
Later,
out there. Yeah.
yeah,
And then
yeah, yeah.
and then I respond them the next time. She's like, hey, I sent you a text earlier. I come in peace.
There you go.
I come in peace.
Did you get a chance to read my email?
Did you get a chance? I come in peace. I come in peace. Did you get a chance? You get a chance. Check it out.
Yeah.
No rush. Just wanted to see if you got it. You know?
Uh, uh, D,
Uh,
hey D. D says nip it, nip it, nip it, nip it. Yeah, nip it in the butt. Yeah, I
yeah, yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, hopefully you're in a relationship where you guys will agree on having those discussions and nip it in the butt. Things are so much more easier, man, when you both are on the same accord and just make things just more easier to flow it and get it out there. Um, One of the things I was thinking about is the power of vulnerability. Um, Now this is real interesting because I think the emotional intimacy, the lack of emotional intimacy would work so much more or better as far as working it out and get back to where you're supposed to be when there's vulnerability on both sides of the relationship. Because then you really want to work together as far as like I'm being vulnerable to what you're lacking, you're being vulnerable to what I'm lacking. So I want to communicate to make this better because I'm here to hear. I'm vulnerable to hear you and to feel what you're saying to actually work to get back to that point. Now, if once again, this is just the perfect world, but if one side is just not vulnerable or lost the vulnerability, we have a big problem. You know what I mean? But man, you really got to learn your partner again. If there's something missing where there's a change, you gotta figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But then knowing your partner and you know that you're gonna be too aggressive, you gotta come off where it's like, okay, how can I make this communication work where they can receive what I'm trying to say so we can move forward. So it's a really, really, really interesting way, man, to try to get back and try to figure out exactly where we got to go as far as vulnerability and getting an emotional intimacy back. It's a real interesting topic, man.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
real, yeah, because a lot of some of the stuff was going in my head as far as like that emotional intimacy, man. That's a big thing, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
as far as like being like kissing, oh, kissing is so intimate.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, like say if we used to kiss and we don't kiss anymore, we just having sex now, you just feel different. There's someone just missing.
Right.
You just slap me down and suck on my neck. Now you don't do that no more. Now you just kiss me on the forehead and turn your head. That bothers me. What's wrong? What am I doing?
Yeah, I
Help me,
agree.
help me.
But some people are just not affectionate like that, and it's tough because you can't change them. Um, so you gotta again, that has to do with love language. You have to learn your partner
Yes.
and each other, and you're not going to have the same love language. So yeah, it really is tough. This is really a struggle for a lot of couples.
Are you are and then like in the beginning when you notice these things, you gotta really think about the future. Are you okay with the fact that you're or um what's the word, intimate person and they're not? Are you love them though? But man, is that okay with you? Can you really, really be with a man or a woman that is not as intimate as you? You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because that's part of your love language. They're not receiving or giving back what you giving. Are you okay with that? A lot of times we end up settling because they see the other good stuff. But you got to remember the core of you is what you really like. What you really like. You like touch. But he's so hard. He don't want to so intimate. He don't want to hug and hold. That comes off to him So it's like, are you okay with that? And sometimes we feel like, man, he does everything else, but just not that. But that just not that is huge to you, but you kind of bypass it. So you got to make decisions in the beginning when you see these things. Are you going to be okay with that in the end? Because they just some people just set in their ways.
Yeah.
You know. So
Hmm.
it's a real interesting, man, real interesting
And so
stuff.
remember, people change.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
when you've been together for a long time, you're
yeah.
both changing. So you may flip the script. You may become not as affectionate as you used to be, and then the other person does become more affectionate. So that it's tough.
Mm,
It's not gonna be easy. So then that's the thing you have to decide. Is this gonna be a deal breaker for me, or like you said, I'm gonna look at the pros,
I
and
got
that's
you.
just gonna be a one of the cons, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Tara, let me ask you a question. Like, what are some of the things you could do to like rekindle the spark? And one of the things I was thinking about before, like I said, just okay, your partner's changed. They used to play basketball, now they like cycling. And I was like, oh damn, cycling. When did you really start doing cycling? Okay. Or you know what? I'm gonna go cycling with
Cycling
you.
too. Yep.
Can I go cycling with you, babe? Yeah, sure. Okay. Damn, this okay, we go cycling on Sunday. And then you can see possibly that their partner reacted like, oh, you want to cycle? So now you wanna go on that journey with me. That can slowly build like, okay, I'm changing with you. I'm
Yeah.
adjusting. And then hopefully they do something, they adjust to back to what you're doing. But it's just about really paying attention
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
to the partner and not just like going about your everyday and not paying your partner no attention because you already know everything about him or you already know everything about her. I think the real key is paying attention to your partner.
Mm-hmm.
She like butter pecan ice cream. Hey, I'm gonna get her the best butter pecan today. Oh,
Right.
baby, no, I got some butter pecan in there. Really? Oh, that's sweet. Keywords. When she
Yeah.
says sweet. Hey, when she says something sweet, oh, that's sweet. Oh, no problem, baby. Sweet, sweet, just like you. It's a matter, to my brother, yo, sweet, just like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's the little things.
So,
Doing the
things,
little
man.
things. Yeah. So just the paying attention to detail. Yeah. So doing the little things like that. And right, doing something that you may not necessarily like that he does, but you're gonna do it to please him. And date night. So planning day dates
Mm,
or date nights. So that's important. And I know that I'm the planner, so I'm gonna have to plan those things, to spend quality time with my husband, because he's not necessarily the planner. He's not thinking about, the date nights. And that's fine. That's just something I'm gonna have to do. Um, but traveling together, and doing activities like you didn't, both of you really don't do. Like, for example, Dale and I played mini golf on the cruise, and
Uh-huh.
we never played mini golf together, not that I can remember, even when we were dating each other, or married. But we did it together, and that was so much fun. So
Yeah.
we learned something new,
I got a
about each
question.
other. Like, we both enjoy playing mini golf.
I got a question. Some people like they paint the kitchen red because red makes you hungry.
Hmm, interesting. I
What
didn't know that.
you didn't know that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You paint the kitchen red, it makes you hungry. Now, I wonder if there's a color that triggers something in your man's mind, or vice versa, a woman's mind, because everybody got a favorite color. So when you wear your partner's favorite color with something
Ah,
that, yeah, you see what I'm saying? With
okay.
something, because I noticed sometimes when I used to be with a person that the color, they like a specific color, and I wear that color shirt, they just treat me differently. No matter where they mind at, you're like, oh, that looks cute on you. It automatically does something to the brain to pay attention. So I think if
Mhm.
we actually put a color scheme of something to wear with their favorite color, it does something to their mind.
Okay.
Because colors and numbers or whatever plays a big part in the world as far as us as human beings. It does everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I think color will play a huge part. Like, for instance, like we got D on the chat. D loves sunflowers. So if a dude came on a date with D and he wore a sunflower shirt, she automatically gonna like him. Oh, that looks
Ah,
good. She loves sunflowers. So it's like certain things, certain colors, certain things about that digs deep, that's embedded in the brain of that person. They would not change that. You don't change if you think about it, you like a color, you never change the color. That color stays with you the rest of your life. So it's like I think color will help a lot with a little spark of a part of paying attention to.
yeah. Food for thought.
Yeah, yeah.
Never thought about that.
It just came to me because
Mm.
I just thought about sometimes I just when I see certain colors that I like, black and blue, I always pay attention to it. Like if a woman wearing black heels or black boots or black anything, I'm like, oh, that look nice. Then I look at the person. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
it does something to the brain.
Mm, we also did trivia in bed. I did that. I
Sure,
just said, "Hey, let's play
what
trivia." Yeah,
the
trivia,
game?
and just started asking. Yep, like, questions, just various questions about relationships,
Uh-huh.
love, life. And that brought spark back, because it was very interesting. We learned a
Uh,
lot about each other during the trivia
so
questions. So it's
so
like,
so
I didn't know that,
see
about
that
you.
see that's the thing. What I was saying is like it's like we can never stop learning our partners if we just pay attention to something.
Yeah,
You see how you had to play a game in order to create questions about things you probably never thought of.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like I think if we actually have a partner back and forth, actually really have conversations about their day or about certain things, and you dig a little deeper. But sometimes, like you say, we get sidetracked with just the daily hustle and bustle of
Yeah.
life and kids and bills. But paying attention, man, really can make a new creation of spark to like, oh, they're listening, they're paying attention. Oh,
Hmm.
no, man, she remembers. Oh, okay, yeah, we can talk about that. It's so crazy, man. This conversation, real conversation, can really rekindle and spark stuff, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good the person look. It's something in the brain.
And being
Awesome.
open minded. Both of you have to be open minded, and just not, yes, definitely not shut down emotionally.
When you say open minded, you mean open minded about having a conversation, or just open minded?
About having having
Okay, yeah,
conversations,
yeah.
and answering, because some of the questions I asked were not easy. You know,
Yeah.
they
Correct.
were they,
Correct.
they were some of them started off easy, but then on one side they got became, heavier and heavier.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's what I was talking about earlier. It's like when you have them heavy conversations, there's a lot of clarity, man.
if
Yeah, there's a
this
lot of
situation
clarity.
happened, and then sometimes he would be like, honestly, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know how to answer that.
yeah, 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 man. It's like
So,
there's a
and
lot.
it's not because he didn't want to answer it. He just like didn't have an answer right away. He's like, I had to think about that.
Yeah, yeah, and I might need to play that tonight. They got it at Walmart. I gotta see if I can go.
No, online. Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send you a link.
Oh yeah, yeah, some of that, more of that.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I think it's something that every couple should do. Like just do it. Just in the bed and just say, "Hey, let's play trivia." And
sure,
okay, and set the rules. Like you have to answer the questions honestly, but you can't just say, "No, I'm not going to answer it," because you don't feel like it.
mm,
Because
okay.
some of them are, it's like the truth hurts. Like you really have to be truthful. You can't hold back with
Um,
those questions.
it's like, are you okay with couples like getting together to have conversations? I don't think that's a bad idea, but it has to be not just any couple can like pair together.
Mm-mm.
You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah, yeah, no, because
it
some couples are just, yeah, they're not gonna be open minded.
yes, yes. And some people don't want nobody to know their business.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm okay with that if the group is really close and
Yeah.
comfortable with each other. Like matter of fact, we having our Let's Talk Saturday this Saturday. I wish everybody on here could come, but hey, co- there's only a few people coming, so we'll let you know how that goes. But yeah, the couples getting together talking, I think that helps a lot when you can feed off the other woman's perspective, the other guy's perspective, a different couple, but the group has to be close knit group
Yeah.
where that
Yeah.
that gets along very well and doesn't hold judgment.
Yeah.
I think that'll work. I definitely think that will work. Um, yeah, yep. So,
Okay, let me give another poll question. This is a great one. Which is harder for you to say out loud? I need more from you. I feel hurt. I love you. Or I was wrong.
listen. First of all, women ain't saying I was wrong. That's off top. Yeah, yeah. I can't remember hearing a woman say, "You know what, baby, I was wrong." That doesn't happen. So that
But
would not
I,
be.
I disagree because I've admitted that I was wrong.
How long did it take?
Not long actually, because once I processed,
See,
what I did,
you
but I had to process it though.
see what D said. D said we never wrong. Just like I said.
No, no, I've been wrong. Again, I had to process things because again, that's the only child syndrome in me, and I know I was very selfish. So I
Okay.
had to process that and say I'm wrong. I didn't think about your feelings. So yeah, I don't have a problem saying I was wrong. Oh, and I will say I say I love you all the time because I'm affectionate.
Yeah,
That's my thing.
I think that's easy to say because it's it's an easy feeling, especially when you do love the person. What was the first one again?
I need more from you.
Oh, jeez. Listen, if a woman tells a man, "I need more from you," he feels attacked. If a man says, "I need more from you," from a woman, she feels confused, like more. But a man feel more from you means you're not doing enough, probably financially as a
Right.
man,
Emotionally, yeah.
security.
Uh-huh.
I think women say a man saying, "I need more from you" as a woman, she feels confused, like because a woman feels like she's always doing enough.
Yeah.
So she like, "What the hell are you talking about?" It's gonna be it's gonna be two different responses. Like woman gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" And the dude gonna be like, really, man, like, "What the hell you mean you need more from me?" Like he gonna be really like feel attacked because like that.
That's
Guys,
why men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
guys take stuff hard, man. When we feel like we're doing a lot, and then y'all come out to
And then we
everyone
want more.
I need more,
It's
more
not
from me,
enough.
more. Man, I just want pay your car loan, pay the. You know, we always talk about pay, and bills, and money. Women don't never say that most of the time. Guys are, I'm doing this. I'm paying. I'm working hard. I'm coming home. I'm paying the bills. But when I listen, a guy feel attacked if you say
All
something like
right.
that.
But I still want my new kitchen.
God, Jesus.
I need my new kitchen.
Listen,
It's not enough.
that damn kitchen, man. That kitchen done put a lot of dudes in overtime help. Okay? That,
You want a hot meal, right?
but can I get the hot meal from McDonald's? Oh, damn hot meal. Hey, stop with the hot meals, man. Cause y'all done doing that brand new kitchen. No, nothing gets cooked in that kitchen. So stop it.
Oh no, everything gets cooked in my kitchen. I don't know
Uh,
what y'all talk about, but in my kitchen, things are going.
okay. Hey, you know, I'm gonna get around the subject. But yo, I still never ate none of your damn food, man.
Okay,
I'm
that
sorry
is
to get on.
not the topic. That is not tonight's topic. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah. How long are you gonna hold that against me?
All
No
right, man.
grudges.
I've known you.
No holding grudges on in your chest.
I've known you 20 years. Now what I got for being solid.
You got tamarind juice.
All right,
Be grateful.
all right. I'm not gonna get off subject. But that time was wicked. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we're doing. Let's wrap this
Okay.
up.
Okay, let me see. D says, okay, we're just misunderstood, and more from you means just the little things, communication. Yeah, she's not wrong. And then a kitchen.
These is
Right, right.
stop.
Oh, okay. Next question. Do you and your partner check in emotionally on a regular basis? And a lot of couples don't.
Give me an example of that. What you mean by that?
Check in. Hey, babe, how you doing?
Oh, that's an
I was
emotional
work.
check-in.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I was. I mean, emotionally, yeah. Like you're checking on how you feeling. Is everything okay? Yeah, I noticed, and like you said, paying attention to your partner. If I see you, you're like, you have scowling, and often like, is everything okay? You seem a little bit stressed. You know.
You know what's interesting about that? I used to date somebody, and I used to do that, and I think once they checked out, they didn't like me checking in
Mm.
because it seemed like it used to bother them. Like, hey, let's call and check and see how you doing. Um, okay, yeah, I'm fine. Okay, why you checking on me?
Why you checking? Mm.
Like, no, I'm just trying to check see if everything okay. Oh no, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. And you now you're receiving it like, damn, like I mean, you really like checked out because
Mm.
sometimes if the partner is checked out, your checking in comes off like a bothersome.
Nagging, yeah, yeah.
And
That's why.
also,
So you really have to know your partner. And that's
yeah,
why. Okay, so the options are weekly or more. I think that's too much.
particularly
Yeah, that's too much.
that's
Once
way
in a
too much.
while, only
That's way
when things get bad, or never. It just doesn't happen.
nah, man. You gotta check in at least every day.
You said every day,
Yeah, like
check in
when I
and
say
say, "Are you okay?" No, I don't do that.
like, baby, everything. How's your
Are you
day?
okay?
No, but how was your day? That's
No,
a
no,
check in.
that was okay. I mean, that's
Yeah,
okay. Yes.
yeah,
Checking in,
yeah,
but how your day, but
yeah,
not that. Yeah, what
but
I'm thinking of is because emotionally, I'm thinking of, are you okay?
oh, you
That
mean
question. That's why when I think of a checking in emotionally, it's with your mental health. You
oh,
know.
okay.
Yeah, no,
Well,
not the how are you doing, like how was your day or whatever, but
I think
it's the mental.
if that's the case, then I would only do it when I see something.
That's what I'm
Or
saying.
yeah,
Yeah, me too.
okay. If I
Yeah,
feel
you're
that
with
there's
your partner,
something,
and that's what I'm saying. I see you
yeah,
scowling. You look frustrated.
yeah,
You're not, we're not communicating. You're just walking by me, and
yeah.
that's what I'm gonna do. Is everything okay?
Hey, listen. there's not that walking by thing that you just mentioned. It's nothing more hurtful when you walk by your partner and they move. Oof,
Mm.
ouch. Damn, there's something really wrong there, Tiger. When you
Well,
walking
I mean,
by,
it just depends on the situation because if I seen you, and I walked by you a few times already. No, I'm not talking about that.
no, I'm not
Right? You're
talking
not
about
talking
when
about
you're,
that. Okay.
not talking about when you're in the kitchen. I might walk past the pot, and then it's there before me, so you don't have to brush up on you or anything. But no, you just have to move like you try to like
Oh,
get the fuck out of the way. Like what? Like what? Like, hold on,
no. Yeah, yeah.
hold on, did she just move?
Then
What the hell?
she's checked out. Yeah, she can't bother with you no more.
That's not good, sorry, yo.
She can't bother with you. She checking for another man at that point.
Listen, when you start moving out the way of your partner, that is not good. That is not
Uh,
good. That is not good. Hey, because you know you only do that when y'all angry at each other. When y'all
yes,
angry,
yes, yes, yes.
they be like,
Don't touch me.
move your shoulder.
Don't touch me.
Instead of spooning, you're getting forks. You know, hey, you used to get this little spoon at nighttime. I should have given a fork. You
No,
know,
you get the
you
you
flat
get
like
that pillow
this.
in between.
Hey, she laid flat like this on the pillow. You're not getting no food. Straight time.
Ready for that, right between us. Okay?
You
Do
get straight
not
butter.
touch
It's
me.
straight butter knife.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
all right. Oh God, that was a good one.
Well, guys, yeah, so all right, we're getting to wrap it up. I'm checking to see, make sure that I responded to everybody's responses.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so if you have, please, we ask you guys to share your stories. We'd love to hear your real life stories, that you're having, issues that you're having at home, so we can share them live. Remember, no judgment here. So send in your stories to inyourchest@gmail.com. I'd really love to hear them, and then let's talk about it.
Yeah, we definitely shoot a video for it, and if you actually want to come on the show, also we could do a show with the person that want to come on the show. We could set up everything. Me and Tari will be there live. We get to meet the two stars, and we could have the real conversation recorded and everybody to hear if you're willing to do that. So that's also an option.
Yep. And next month, check us out live locally. We're setting up something now, so stay tuned for the location and the date and the time. And we'd love for y'all to come out and see us live, at a venue in Broward, and just support us.
Yes. We can't wait to do that one. And once again, guys, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like the video, and they put on the notification so that it lets you know whenever we go live. So automatically, when we go live, you'll get a notification and know exactly when we're going live. So we really appreciate your time and your patience, and we're slowly building into the juggernaut we're going to be. So
Yes, and
thank
we
you
thank
again.
y'all. And
And,
keep
but
on communicating, communicate with your spouse to rekindle that intimacy, because you
yes,
don't want to ever stop talking, because once you stop talking, then you know that you have a serious problem. And laughing, that's also important. If you and your partner stop laughing and cracking jokes, that's when you
yes,
know something is truly wrong, and you don't want to lose that spark right
yes.
there because
Have have those tough conversations, man. Those tough conversations create great conclusions. Might be a conclusion that hurts, but it might be a conclusion. It's going to be a conclusion that actually gets to the bottom of the sit of the issue. So have those tough conversations and let's build a callus to it, because when you do that, it becomes easier. Because you don't want to run away from having a tough conversation because it builds strength in the relationship or it makes a decision of where you guys need to go. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and we really appreciate it. All
bye
right, Jamaican
guys,
Princess. Good
have a
night,
good
everybody.
night.
All right, take care.